What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You already know what time it is, man. It is playoff time in the NFL. Once again, I'm here to bring you guys a wrap-up of what happened last week in the first round of the playoffs. And, of course, what's about to go down throughout the next 2 days in the NFL playoffs. Last week, we had an overtime thriller where the Vikings once again pull off a miracle in New Orleans and knock off the Saints at home yet again 26-20. Last time it was a Minneapolis miracle with a Hail Mary touchdown. This time it was a goal line touchdown as time expired in overtime. The Vikings, man, surprisingly getting a big win on the road. This is what Kirk Cousins needed, especially after he choked on Monday Night Football against the Packers for the division, and especially since he's choked against big opponents this year. He needed a win against a team with a winning record, and he also needed a playoff victory to show that he wasn't a total bum. So Kirk Cousins did well. And of course, Dalvin Cook, with his 94 yards and 2 touchdowns, he also helped lead the way. The Saints, once again, man, have to go back to the drawing board yet again after losing to the Vikings. It's almost as if the Vikings have their number. No matter how close they play them, the Vikings know how to beat them at home. It's pretty crazy. On the other side of the NFC bracket, we had the Seahawks knocking off the Eagles at home. Both road teams in the NFC side of the bracket won, by the way, 17-9. They dominated the Eagles, and of course, the Eagles' big story for them is Josh McCown had to come into the game at quarterback after Carson Wentz got hit in the back of the head by Jadeveon Clowney when he tried to go down. Clowney hit him in the back of the head with his helmet and knocked Carson Wentz out of the game. I think Wentz had like a concussion or something. McCown had to come in the game. McCown was also injured. Think about that. The backup quarterback injured along with all the other injuries the Eagles had. So for the Eagles, they need to get everybody back healthy next year, and they also need to reassess their quarterback situation because Carson Wentz, once again getting hurt in the playoffs, once again not there for his team. Not a good look. As far as Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, they once again advance. They move on. They get a big win on the road, especially against a team that was 7-9 coming into the game. In the Eagles, well, 9-7 now, but not the most stellar record on paper for a playoff team that's hosting a playoff game in the Eagles, but the Seahawks proved that they were just way better. And of course, the Texans and Bills. Texans beat up the Bills in overtime. Another close game. Bills almost had it, but they choked once again. Texans get a big win at home after almost giving the game away. Deshaun Watson had to put the game in his hands and had to carry the team on his back. Did a wonderful job. The Bills have something nice over there, but they still need to build up. Josh Allen as a quarterback still has a lot of developing to do. He tries to be a running quarterback like a Lamar Jackson, and he just doesn't have the speed. He has the power, like the size, and people can't tackle him, but he doesn't have the speed and quickness, so he's going to have to work more on his passing, if anything. He did good, though. Like, he ran for 92 yards, which is nice, but he ran for more than Watson, but still. Got to do a lot more on offense, and that defense really needs to help out, because Allen did what he had to do to help push his team to victory, but I feel like that Bills defense, as great as it was not enough for them to overcome that high-powered Texan offense. So to see what the Texans do next week against the Chiefs is going to be interesting. And then in the biggest upset of the weekend, the Titans knock off the Patriots 20-13. The Patriots were at home. This was the first home wild card playoff game they've hosted in a long time, and they take an L. And this is pretty bad because now, folks, there's a chance that both head coach Bill Belichick and Patriots quarterback Tom Brady may not even be on the team next year, which is huge because if one or both leaves, the so-called empire, the dynasty out there in New England is done for. They're going to have to rebuild a little bit. Not saying they have to blow the whole team up, but certainly this year Brady didn't have a whole lot of help. He didn't have a whole lot of reliability in terms of his weapons. And if anything, the defense just didn't do him any favors. They tried to keep the offense in the game as much as they could, but the Titans, behind the running of Derrick Henry and behind the game managing of Ryan Tannehill, as well as the Titans' defense stepping up when they needed to step up, it was a magnificent performance. It's going to be interesting to see how they keep that momentum going when they travel to Baltimore. And that brings us to the divisional rounds today, folks. Starting today, and for the next 2 days, we're going to have a total of 4 games. First game today, Vikings and 49ers at 4:30 on NBC. That's going to be a good one. If you're thinking about a upset special, I think this might be the game. The 49ers didn't look fantastic down the stretch. They were a little bit banged up as well. They're just getting their big pieces like Quan Alexander on the defense coming back. And, the Vikings right now are on a bit of a hot streak, and they're looking really, really good. Once again, they got to go on the road, though, and they're going on the road against the top team in the NFC right now. The brain will say the 49ers, but if you pick the Vikings, that's not bad. That's not bad, because out of all 4 games going down this weekend, that one is the most likely to produce an upset. So keep an eye out for that. And then later on today, 8:15, the Titans travel to Baltimore to face the Ravens. Granted, on paper, this should be a blowout for the Ravens, but the Titans did so well against the Patriots that it's not guaranteed, folks. So I would say look out for this one as well. The Titans could put up a pretty good fight in the beginning, at least within the first half. And I'll say this. If the Titans are still in this game by the third quarter, like if it's a close game, no matter if the Ravens are leading or not, if it's a close game in the third quarter and Derrick Henry is doing all right on the ground, Ravens fans should be nervous, and the Ravens should be nervous, because this Titans team is not a pushover. They've been scrapping all year long. Mid-season quarterback change from Ryan Tannehill to Marcus Mariota has benefited them and pushed them to this point in the playoffs. So while I'm going to go ahead and pick the Ravens, again, folks, the Titans are so good. They are really good. And the way they knocked off the Patriots, it just goes to show that they have a strategy, and they know how to plan, and they know how to game manage. So we're going to see if they can contain Lamar Jackson, and if they can contain the high-powered Ravens offense, as well as a Ravens defense that's actually started to step up and actually come big, like show up in big moments and in crucial moments. That's going to be probably, like, these 2 games right here, in my opinion, the best of the weekend. Vikings, 49ers, Titans, Ravens. You have 2 sets of games right here featuring teams that want to play a close game, that are likely going to produce a shootout, and if anything, you're not going to be bored during those 2. And then moving on to Sunday at 3 o'clock, we have the Texans and the Chiefs. Again, another close game on paper, but I would probably go more toward the Chiefs, because the Texans are okay. They don't have the defense to contain Pat Mahomes and that high-powered Chiefs offense. And the Chiefs' defense is, I would say, a little bit suspect. So they might let Deshaun Watson and that Texans offense, they might let him in the game for like 2 quarters. But what the Chiefs really need to do is try to pull away as the game goes on, because you don't want this game to be too close down to the wire. Like third, fourth quarter, you don't want to be the Chiefs and only up like 23-20 or only up 24-21. You want to be up like 38-21 if possible, or 45. Like, you want to try to put the game away before the fourth quarter hits. That way you can sit Patrick Mahomes and he can rest for the AFC Championship game next week. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Chiefs, but again, that's another one to look out for. It's not going to be as good. I don't think it'll be as good as the Ravens, Titans, or Vikings 49ers, but still a good game nonetheless. And then our feature game of the week, Seahawks-Packers. This is going to be very good. The Seahawks, they look like a team that can go on the road and upset the Packers. The Packers have been up and down this year, but Aaron Rodgers is a miracle man. He knows how to pull out the last-minute miracle for the last-minute victory. Like, just when the Packers look like they're about to lose, like when they get their asses beaten for 2-3 quarters, fourth quarter, Aaron Rodgers wakes up, that defense of the Packers wakes up, and they start to play championship-level football. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the home team on here with the Packers, but again, the Seahawks are a team that's capable of going in there and pulling off a major upset. So I got to say, all 4 games are good. The first 2 won Saturday are going to be the best, but All 4 games this weekend. We're talking about the best of the best in the league right now, folks. It's going to be fun, and I certainly cannot wait. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with me during this short playoff preview. Make sure you enjoy all the games today. It's weird. With YouTube, I noticed they shut down the comment section, I think because of some of their new settings. So I'm going to keep the comment section open on this as well as on my past streams. So if you guys are looking for the playoff from the preview from the week before and all that, I'll open those comment sections back up. I don't know why YouTube closed them. But anyways, folks, let me know who you're going for. Let me know what you're looking forward to seeing the most out of all 4 of these games. And I hope you all enjoy it. I will see you all next week, where we will not only go over these games, but preview the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game, the 2 big conference games that will determine the 2 teams that will play in the Super Bowl this year in Miami. Folks, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Enjoy all the games this weekend. I'm out.